Happy Tuesday, everybody! Can you believe it? We have made it to our final episode of the tea series. My name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel, and I really appreciate you joining me today for the series finale of my Talking Tea Tuesdays Best Tea Candle series. This one is a relatively large episode. Got to go out with a bang. This is what I am calling my World Travelers Edition, because each one of these candles kind of hits on a particular vibe from a particular part of the globe and time. I have an explanation for that. It doesn't make sense yet, but it will. So I want to share these with you. They don't necessarily go together in terms of cohesiveness around their scent notes, but they felt cohesive in terms of kind of what they're symbolizing, if that makes sense. I'm going to start with the company you have seen on repeat in most of the episodes of this series. That is Tea House Candle. I think I said in a previous, I think it was my mid-month empties video for May, I said I hadn't bought the ruby candle, but y'all, I was sorting through the end of the tea research items and I found it. I did actually buy the ruby candle. Now this is, if you're new here, this is a Canadian company. They are a small business. They make only tea scented candles. This is their 8-ounce jar, which will run you $35 US. It is expensive to import these. I think I paid like 2 different taxes plus a pretty substantial shipping fee. I want to say the shipping fee was $20. So if you're going to order from them, I would say order as many as you're going to get so that you're not splitting it across multiple orders, because it does get pretty pricey. Now this one is black tea, rose, and pink salt. And when I look at those scent notes, it reminds me a lot of an Indian tea that I drank before. So I chose this one because this is linked to a Taiwanese tea. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have, let's look, they usually have a little scent story in here. Yeah, they do. So they always send you this little card. This one's got the roses on it because it's a rose fragrance. And then they give you on the back side the scent notes plus usually a scent story. This says, cultivated in the famous Sun Moon Lake area in, is it Nantao? I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly. I think it's in Taiwan. Let me just confirm that real quick. Yes, second largest city in Taiwan. It says, ruby black tea has been deemed the original taste of Taiwan. Enjoy the sweetness of cinnamon, followed by hints of refreshing mint to energize your senses as you imagine yourself waking up on a dewy morning surrounded by mountains. Additional notes of rose, cedar, and pink salt lend a sense of comfort as experienced from sipping a cup of warm black tea. And just by opening the box, this is really strong on cold. But you all know how this company's been performing in this series. I don't have high hope that that will translate to being strong on warm. I do like their vessels. I like that their 8 ounces are shorter and squattier versus, say, a single wick from Bath & Body Works that's skinnier and taller. I also like that they use 2 wicks because these do burn really cleanly. I have no complaints about the burn quality on these candles whatsoever. And on cold, I get the mintiness. I get a black tea note. It's a very strong, not fragrance, but like black tea note. So like if you're thinking of a range of different types of black teas, this would be in like the range of like an English breakfast, something that's very dark and hearty in terms of tea. Very earthy. I don't get much of the rose that's in here. I definitely smell mint. You could convince me there's pink salt in here, but honestly, I just get black tea and mint. It's really pretty, but I'm craving more of the rose. But it might come out on warm. So the burn time on this one is 40 to 50 hours. And I think as long as we're talking about Tea House Candle and Taiwan, I will show you the other one that I picked up from Tea House Candle in that series. That is the Boba candle. Now this is the bigger size. This is their 14 ounce. Their 14 ounce is 70 to 80 hours of burn time, but it's also $55, so it is pretty pricey. Also has a scent story card in here. Let me just dig that out real quick. This one has uncooked boba kind of laid out with a pearl tea in the background with the cooked boba. If you've never had boba before, I'm going to guess you're not on one of the coasts. Boba is very popular on the east and west coast, and I mean there's boba everywhere where I live, and it's very popular, has been for, gosh, almost a decade now. Midwest, from what I understand from my family back home, they're kind of just figuring out what boba is. It's basically tea with tapioca pearls, and you can get milk or not. You can get it sweetened or not. There's all sorts of fruit flavors you can add to it. I love it. It's delicious. It's caffeinated. It's sugary. And all the young kids are sipping it like we did with our Starbucks. The scent story on this says the scent of boba is like a cozy hug from a freshly baked batch of cookies. I don't agree with that. A Taiwanese creation, it combines the light sweetness of tapioca pearls, a touch of caramel, and the comforting aroma of brewed black tea. With just a spark, it creates an inviting and comforting fragrance that's hard to resist. And this is modeled after the Taiwanese boba that has the brown sugar in it. I forget, I think around here it's called like Tiger Sugar might be the brand, but it usually looks kind of striped down the glass with the brown sugar syrup. So the scent notes are brown sugar, black tea, and milk. Yeah, this doesn't smell like boba to me. I get a creamy, what you could tell me was milk. You also could tell me it was like a icing, and I would believe you. I get the black tea for sure, and I don't really get much brown sugar on cold. Yeah, I feel like my boba, I get a much, like, it's a much more like honey note from the boba, and then I feel like you actually get a sense of the tea first with kind of like a creamer milk vibe. This very much smells like a fresh milk or fresh cream, which I know that's also common in Taiwan, with tea. I don't get much of the boba at all. So we'll see how that warms up. I don't know about this one. It is a 3-wick, same type of jar, similar to Bath & Body Works 3-wick, but it's a little bit shorter, and I think it's the same width. It looks about the same width, but they don't have as much space at the top. So that is the other Taiwanese themed candle. Okay, where should we go next? I think I'm going to stick with the tea house candle, and we're going to go to Canada. We're going to go to Vancouver, which is also where the candles are made. This is the London Fog candle. Now you might be saying, Tracy, London is not in Canada. Yes, I know. But the London Fog was created in Vancouver, Canada. So you have our scent card again. This is just a picture of the candle on a blanket. That doesn't really scream London Fog to me, but I guess. Scent Story says, originating in our hometown of Vancouver, Canada, London Fog is known as a tea latte. Made with Earl Grey tea, steamed milk, and a touch of vanilla syrup. This subtly sweet candle offers a vibrant yet cozy vibe with the fog and dew of this rainy city lingering just behind each curl of smoke. Bergamot citrus and warm vanilla mingle together, creating a fragrant finish that will have you longing for more chilly days spent inside. And then the scent notes are milk tea, cream, and vanilla. Okay, and then this is the same size as the boba. It is a 14-ounce, $55 candle. That means it also has the same burn time of 70 to 80 hours. By the way, all three of these are 100% soy. This one is also the 3-wick in the kind of shorter jar than like a Bath & Body Works 3-wick. And this one has milk tea, cream, and vanilla as the scent notes. This doesn't smell like London Fog at all. This smells like vanilla milk. I don't know if y'all have ever gotten like a kid's steamer from like Pete's or Starbucks and you just do milk with vanilla syrup. That's what this smells like. I don't get any Earl Grey whatsoever. There's no tea note in here. There's no bergamot. It just smells like vanilla milk. I'm not happy about that. And by the way, to be clear, I placed an order for 4 candles. It was a green tea, the white tea, and then the Earl Grey. There was one more. I don't remember which one it was, but I got those 4. I was like, wow, these smell exactly what they say they smell like. And so then I ordered 4 more. This one and the Boba were in that second order. And I was like, these don't smell like what they say they smell like. So if I had ordered these first, I never would have gotten the other ones. And I only got these because the other ones smelled really good on cold and authentic. This does not smell authentic to me at all. Yeah, I almost get a hint of cinnamon in here. Yeah, that's not right. That's not Earl Grey. It's not an Earl Grey candle, but London Fog is made with Earl Grey tea, so you should get Earl Grey. We'll see how that warms up. I'm not enthusiastic about it at the moment. Let's go to London next. I have a Yankee London Christmas tea. This is their big, large jar, their original jar. This is just a plain white wax, their classic single wick. I have burned this one. I actually bought this as a part of their after Christmas sale. Really was enjoying it kind of that week between Christmas and New Year's, and then put it away. Formed my channel early January. Started getting the idea for a tea series maybe in March. It's been brewing for a while. I actually didn't intend for that to come out, but that's kind of funny. And then was like, yeah, this has to be included because I absolutely love this one. I don't have the scent notes, and you know what? I'm not sure if this is still available even on their website because it's been sold out for so long. But I'll check real quick and just see if I can get those scent notes. In the meantime, this is a 22-ounce candle. The burn time on this is 110 to 150 hours. They do still have it on their website, by the way, but it does say sold out. And then the scent notes are top notes of cinnamon, ginger, gold peppercorn. Middle notes are orange zest, black tea, guaiac, I don't know what that is, star anise. Base notes are black pepper, vetiver, and cinnamon woods. I love this candle so much. It is a spicy tea fragrance. I feel like you get the black tea, you get the orange, I get the anise, which I really enjoy. It's just so comforting. It definitely smells like a tea you could get in London during the holidays. I know that when I was in London and we did a tea service, they had a lot of options for like spicy tea, what we might call chai in the US. And then orange and tea is really popular in Europe, especially I had it in Sweden as well. They love to put fruit in all of their teas. And this just kind of makes me want to go to Europe. It just feels like a European tea. I don't remember the strength and throw on this, so I'm glad to have it back for this episode and giving that a try. I know I liked it, so that's good at least. Okay, another one where we're going to London. That is the Kringle Tea Time. I did only buy this in the daylight because Kringle candles are huge. So the price on the daylights is normally $4. I usually try to wait and get these on sale. They do go on sale usually for like $2. It's a small amount of wax. This is only 1.5 ounces, and it says that it burns for 10 to 12 hours, but in my experience, you really have to burn this either all at once or in like 2 longer sessions, because once this wick starts to dip really past the halfway point, it often won't relight. So I'm going to do this twice. I'll do it once just to really flush out the pool and get a sense of it, and then I'll do it a second time to film it and just really confirm my read of it. So these don't last as long as they say they do, but they do have this like ribbed edge of the jar, and it looks really pretty when it's burning. It kind of creates this glowing effect. So I'll share that with you post burn. That's pretty. Scent notes on this are top notes of, I think it's supposed to be clove. The website says cove bud, but I smell clove. It's got to be clove. Zesty orange and cardamom. Mid notes are star anise, steeped tea leaves, and cinnamon. And then the base notes are sandalwood and golden honey. It's a very strong clove note. You could tell me that's anise as well. I feel like anise and clove are very close. Anise tends to smell more licoricey though. Or anise. Yeah, I get a lot of clove and not much else. I get cardamom. I don't get sandalwood, I don't get tea leaves. I don't get orange. You could convince me there's cinnamon in there, but this smells a lot like a clove anise candle, which I'm here for. I don't mind. But if you're looking for tea, I don't know how that's going to be on warm. So, okay, there are 2 left, and I think they're both a little bit ambiguous in terms of like where we're traveling to. So maybe I'll start with this first one that's a little bit ambiguous. You could argue that we're going to Paris because this is a French company that makes this candle, but I feel like this candle is very much like a global travel candle, and they sell it that way too. Diptyque, I think technically in French it's like Diptyque. But Diptyque, by the way, bougie for sure. This is their tea fragrance candle. This is very expensive. I think the most expensive candle I've ever bought. The hubs wanted to try it because he's a little bit more bougie than I am when it comes to buying things. And he was just excited to go to a store with a $76 candle. I don't actually like the smell of this on cold. I don't know how I'm going to do with this on warm. We'll see. $76 for a 6.5 ounce candle. That just is mind-boggling to me. 50 hours of burn time. I just, I justified it because it's for the channel. Oh, yeah, I don't think I like this. Oh, no, he's gonna love it. Okay, so the scent story is that it's strong, smoky black tea leaves from far-off climes. Time and travel have infused them with spices and other treasures, cumin, pepper, coriander. The tea-scented candle is your getaway, rich in fragrances from around the globe and exclusive to their boutique. It's definitely smoky. I definitely get pepper. There's something warm in there. Is it coriander? It smells more like cardamom to me. Cardamom isn't a listed note on here. It's cumin and coriander. But then whenever I make Indian food, I feel like I make it with cardamom, cumin, and coriander, so my brain might just be smelling cardamom, even though it's not in here. We'll see. I'm scared. I'm scared this was a waste of money. He's gonna like it though, so I guess at the end of the day, if he enjoys it, he can burn it in his office if I don't like it. And we'll go from there. Now this one inspired me to include the Bath and Body Works journal moments because this one talks about like, oh, going back in time and picked up all these treasures. And to me, this candle where we're traveling to is another time. It smells like the past. It smells like old paper. Not as good as Book Loft. But Journal Moments from Bath & Body Works has scent notes of fresh tea leaves, papyrus, and sandalwood. And the paper note in here just kind of smells a little bit like an older book. The sandalwood, in my opinion, is too perfumey. I want it to be more earthy, unless that's the tea leaves note that's in here. There's something that's perfumey, but there's also something that smells like you stuck your nose in a book. So I'm putting this one because it really didn't fit in any of the other tea episodes, but I'm putting it in this one because it feels like we can go back in time with this one and sniff an old book. This is a 14.5 ounce. These are supposed to last between 25 and 45 hours, and I usually pay between $11 and $14 for my Bath & Body Works candles. This one has white wax and core wicks. I've had this one for a while too. Been waiting to break this one out. I think I got this one in like February and have been waiting for this episode to record so I can actually rip into it. So we have 2, 4, 6, we have 7 candles in this series. I'll go ahead and rank them from favorite to, let's do least favorite to favorite. Yes. Okay. So on cold, my least favorite, no big surprise, is the Diptyque, that French place. London Fog is my next least favorite. Boba would be the next least. Then Journal Moments. Tea Time would come after that. Ruby would come after that. And then my favorite on cold is the London Christmas tea from Yankee. I'm going to go spend lots of time with these, get these going, burn into them, get some footage, and then come back after the cut, and I will share with you the warm impression and do a re-rank on what I think after I've burned them. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, I have spent loads of time with these 7 candles. I'm going to now rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite, and I'm going to start with number 7. That is the Diptyque, or Diptyque, I don't know how you say this, tea candle. You'll notice I didn't get through all of it, and that's because this is an extremely bougie candle that I did not want to rip through, and just felt like I want to be able to appreciate it. I should say I want my husband to be able to appreciate it because I am not a fan of this fragrance at all. Now, in terms of strength and throw, for its size, it's good on both. It is strong in fragrance, and it did a really good job throwing in my bathroom space, which is normally where I would burn something like a single wick of this size. With that said, this is just not my jam. This also just does not smell like tea to me. I feel like if this were to smell like a tea, it would smell like a tea called Pu'er. I don't know if any of y'all have ever drank Pu'er or smelled Pu'er. If you have, leave me a comment below. Share your experience. My husband, when he was a barista, used to have Pu'er tea available for customers, and the best way I can describe it is that it is so deeply earthy that it kind of reminded me of like a truck tire. So like dirty asphalt, rubber, burnt, unpleasant. However, if you like deeply earthy, wet leaf notes, you would love this candle. However, this doesn't smell like tea at all. This is not the tea I think of when I think of a tea candle. I wrote down that it reminds me of some of the moss candles I've smelled, some of the oud candles I've smelled. It smells like dirt, and that is just a very earthy vibe. I wrote gross. I do not like it. The hubs, however, likes it. He doesn't mind it. So I said, all right, you can take your bougie candle and burn this on your desk then. Now, I will note, this didn't come through in the burn video, but the oils in this candle look phenomenal when lit. You can actually see the essential oil. It looks greasy in the wax, and it kind of separates from the soy that's in here. It's not like any other candle that I've burned. I don't usually burn bougie candles. So I think there is something to be said about paying for higher end candles with these sort of essential oils that are strong and potent, and that there's enough in the wax to actually be able to smell it. I just wish it had been a fragrance that I would have enjoyed. It would have been so much sweeter that way. So, overpriced. I don't like it. Relatively clean burn. It did tunnel a little bit in the beginning, but otherwise it's performed well, even though I haven't finished it yet. I don't expect much more to develop from that. Number 6, I'm going to assign to Tea House Candles London Fog Candle. Now on cold, you'll remember that I said this just smelled like vanilla milk. That didn't change on warm. I never got any sort of Earl Grey note whatsoever. And it doesn't claim to have Earl Grey in it. The scent notes are milk, tea, cream, and vanilla. However, Earl Grey tea is in a London Fog. This smells like, and I've had this happen before, when I order a London Fog at Starbucks and I get the venti, and I ask for 2 tea bags, but they only give me 1. And then when I'm drinking it, it just smells and tastes like vanilla milk, and I don't get that bergamot Earl Grey essence. That's what this candle smells like. And of course, like the other tea house candles, this thing is basically unscented, so it almost doesn't matter that it doesn't have an Earl Grey note in it. So creamy, it's vanilla-y, it's milky. If you like that jam, I would say pick it up, but don't buy it expecting to have a actual London Fog experience. So I'm not going to Vancouver, right? And I'm not going to France. I will stay home. Let's see. Oh, I grabbed out of order here. The next one I'm going to do is Ruby, and this is more of an authenticity issue for me. And of course, it is the Tea House Candle Company, and so the strength and throw are both pathetic. Per usual, low strength, low throw. But in terms of the scent notes on here, black tea, rose, and pink salt. The black tea on this on warm comes through very, very subtle. I feel like I get a hint of what feels like brininess, which I can only assume is coming from the pink salt note that's in here. I definitely get a hint of floral. However, it felt a little ambiguous to me. I don't feel like it was distinctively rose floral. In general, it is a pleasurable fragrance. I think it was edible / drinkable in concept and the way that it warms, but it also wasn't really what I would expect from a candle that has scent notes of black tea and rose. I would have expected much more of each of those elements, and instead it's just kind of this interesting briny floral candle that doesn't really hit on black tea or rose for me. So I ranked it pretty low for that reason. I think it's pleasant. It's just not listed as it is. I feel like it's a little bit of a bait and switch when you put those scent notes and then they don't show up on warm. So that one is in 5th place. 4th place, despite the fact that I absolutely love this fragrance on cold, it's classic Yankee large jar in the paraffin blend. It is almost unscented. If I had this on my desk sitting right next to me, I could smell it a little bit. Did no good in terms of filling out the room and absolutely suffered in my open concept. I actually was burning it on my stove, and sometimes when I walk into the kitchen, even if a candle is low throw or low strength in open concept, I can smell it when I walk into the kitchen. Not this one. And I did use an Illuma lid the whole time, which really did help from keeping it from tunneling. The wax residue on the outside of the jar is pretty minimal. I didn't get through much of this because these do last for what feels like forever. Yeah, and I can't smell it at all right now. It's basically unscented on cold at this point. It's Yankee. I don't have anything else to say. I love it, but I can't smell it. And I want to because it's a beautiful fragrance. So, I mean, I think that speaks to the other three of how unpleasant and strange I found them, that I would rather have an almost unscented version of a candle that I really enjoy over those other three. Number 3, which I don't think it deserves to be ranked this high, but honestly I did it because it was just an amazing performer, and that is the Bath & Body Works Journal Moments. This candle, it's just weird. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. I'm glad that I got to experience it. I'm glad that I got to spend some time with it. It's a one and done for me. My curiosity is moved on, and then I'm just not a huge fan. So I have a lot to break down on this one. So first of all, I found the strength to be kind of average. If you're sitting next to it, it's pretty strong. The throw, also average. The further away you get from it, the less you're going to smell it, and it's relatively strong if you're close to it. It also felt a little bit elusive to me, so like sometimes I would walk into the room and it would hit me and then I'd get closer to it and I couldn't smell it. Other times I'd only be able to smell it if I got close to it. So there's something about the throw strength combination of this candle that was a little bit wonky. And this is testing it multiple times in the same space. No windows, no air conditioner, no draft. It's a converted garage. So it's not like I changed the setting and got different results. The other thing is this is just really hard to describe. The papyrus note that's in here, I feel like I understand. It does give me like book loft vibes, or like old attic, or like I'm reading a book at the library that's 50 years old. It does give me that sort of paper vibe. However, it's also paired with the tea leaves and a sandalwood, which ends up smelling a little bit like... It ends up smelling like soap or deodorant to me. Yeah, it's like creamy and a little bit like sharp. I don't get much tea at all. And if it is tea, my guess is that it's a floral tea, like a jasmine, because there's something in here that's reading sharp. So you have this like warm note from the papyrus that feels earthy. And then you have this like creamy, deep note from the sandalwood. And then there's something that's like sharp and floral, almost like what you'd get from like a jasmine tea. And those three things together just, it feels weird to me. Yeah, so it kind of smells like body cream. I can't figure it out, but beautiful burn. The wicks did well. The wax pool is clean. The jar is not sooty. I love the color of this jar. So performance-wise, stellar, and I can get the scent notes that are in it. I just think it's weird. So it ranked third, but I don't like it. Like it ranked third, but I wouldn't buy it again. Number two, yeah, this one I don't know about either. This one I like. I think there's a time and place for this candle, and it feels more fall winter to me. This is the Daylight candle from Kringle in the tea time. So small size, I don't expect much out of this. However, when comparing this to other tea daylights that I have burned, this had very low strength and very low throw. I will also add that I didn't really get a fair trial with it because the wick stopped working halfway through. So it will not relight, it won't stay lit, and yet I have half the daylight left in the jar. So I really didn't get to spend much time with this candle at all. It kind of makes me curious to want to try it in the larger jar so that I can give it a fair chance. Because I do like it. The spice in it is very warm. You get this like mild tea note to it. It has almost like a cinnamon roll vibe, but without the sweetness to it. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's very cozy. It's very comforting, but it feels like a fall tea, like something I'd want to drink when it's cold outside and just starting to get kind of gloomy. Yeah, so I really like it. I just feel like I didn't get a fair chance at trying it. So I would probably repurchase this one. It's also why I ranked it number 2, because what I did experience of it, I enjoyed. I just think it might be the vessel that's causing the problem. And that's not the candle's fault. That's my choice fault. Number 1, by a landslide, no question, there is no competition in this pile that would beat this candle, is the Tea House Candle Boba. Now, I'm shocked that I'm telling you that this is number 1. This is the first tea house candle to be number 1 in any of the episodes that I've included tea house candles in, but this is amazing. This smells so much like honey boba when it's burning. It is phenomenal. They nailed it. They nailed it. Now, if you drink boba tea like I do, I get it less sweet. I get it with the honey pearls, and I usually just do like a regular tea. So I'll do like an Earl Grey, or I'll do like a hoji cha. I don't do a lot of like fruit flavorings or syrups or jellies, none of that. I really just want an iced tea with some boba in it, and maybe once in a while I'll do it with milk. This smells literally just like the sensation that I have when I'm sucking up the boba in the straw and getting that tea in my mouth at the same time. You get the tea, you get the honey, you get the boba. It is exactly as advertised. Now they're advertising it as brown sugar pearls, but for me, this smelled more like honey pearls to me. I didn't get like that burnt molasses fragrance. Clean burn per usual. You'll notice I did not finish this because I'm hoarding it. I like it. I don't like enough of the candles from this company to put in a reorder. I mean, maybe there was one other one that I really liked. We'll see. If they go on sale, I will reorder this and pay all of the shipping and fees from Canada to get my hands on another one of these, because it also did have good strength and throw. Not fill and open concept strength and throw, but it was an amazing desk candle and was very strong sitting next to it. So I would absolutely repurchase this one. If you're going to try them and put an order in, I would go with Boba if that's on your list of desires. All right, y'all, that is the end of not only this episode, but it is the end of my Talking Tea Tuesday series. I don't plan to continue the series. I can see myself doing like an update or an edit revision of some sort if a bunch of new tea candles come out and I want to have like a, here's the latest tea candles and how would I rank them. But for now, I think this is closing out the series. I've really enjoyed making this. I know that some of you have really enjoyed watching it. It has not been the most popular content on my channel, and it's been a lot of work to create this, so I don't know how often I'm going to be continuing to do these series because it's just so much work. It's a lot of money, and I don't feel like it's as popular as I had hoped they would be. So we'll see. I'm still going to do best of episodes. I just don't know that I'm going to do these really long series that take me literally months to create and weeks to edit. So keep your eye out. You might see something from me, but I think this kind of wraps my series ideas around different types of candles that I want to do in extended episodes. If you appreciated this video, you appreciated the series, give me a thumbs up, make me feel good about closing this out. If you have any questions or comments about not only any of these candles, but ones from the previous episodes, I would love to try to answer those to the best of my ability. You can put those in the comments below. And if you have anything you want to contribute about your burn on these candles, I'd love to hear your perspective as well and share that with my other viewers so that we can learn from one another. I'll see you again in my next video. Until then, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.